Is that little cottage still there now?
No, the cottage has since been pulled down.
There is a little cottage there.
Yes, yes, but the cottage I was born in has been pulled down.
And how long did you live there?
Well, I should say about 12 months. And then we moved up on the Esk Road to a bungalow there, which had been pulled down also.
Right. What did your father do?
Well, my father was the postman.
I see. And was he born in Raglan?
Yes, my father was born in Raglan.
So he lived all his life in Raglan as well?
Yes, he lived all his life in Raglan.
Going back to where you lived on the Esk Road, what do you remember about that?
Well, I can remember I used to have to walk from there to school. It's about 3/4 of a mile.
And the school was where?
The Raglan School.
The old school?
The old school, yes. The old church school then.
What about traffic on the road? You didn't need school crossing officers in those days?
No. It was all horses and traps in those days. There were no cars. When I can remember the first car, and I was about 7-year-old.
So that would be about certainly before the First World War.
Oh yes, a long time before the First World War. And perhaps we'd see a car today and we wouldn't see one again for about a month.
What about public transport? Was there any public transport?
There was no public transport at all. Nothing at all. Yes, if you wanted to go away, you had to walk about a mile to the station to catch a train.
And if you went on the train, where would you get to? Could you, for instance, go to Newport on the train? Direct?
No, you go to Pontypool Road first, the junction. Yeah. And from there you'd branch out to wherever you wanted to go.
And if you went in the other direction, to Monmouth?
Oh yes, you got to Monmouth. And you could get up through the Wye Valley to Gloucester that way.
I see.
Yes, but the main route was from Raglan to Newport, and then you could go to London that way. If you went to the Monmouth way, it was a long way to London, because you had to go Gloucester that way.
I see. It was a slow journey.
A very slow journey, yes.
Let's get back to school now. What do you recall about school? Has the building changed since you...
No, it's exactly the same as when I went to school.
Did you enjoy school?
Not a lot.
What about the headmaster or teachers?
The headmaster was a man by the name of Mr. Charles Saunders, a real country gentleman.
Did he live in Raglan?
Yes, he lived in Raglan. And he was also the organist and choir master at the church. And we had 12 boys then, trained for the choir, and we had to be there every Sunday, or else on the Monday morning he'd want to know where we were, and we had to have a good excuse.
And you were one of the 12?
Yes, I was one of the 12.
Good. What about the teaching? I suppose the cane was very prominent?
Oh yes, yes. Oh yes, it was a very strict discipline, and you had to behave yourself out of school hours as well as in school hours. Weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and if he heard you misbehaved on the Saturday or the Sunday, you had it on Monday morning.
What about your school work? What did you use for writing? Was it a pen and equal?
Yes, pen and inkwell on the desk. And the main things was reading, writing and arithmetic.
The 3 R's?
Yes, the 3 R's. And he was very particular on your writing.
Yes. Did you use the old slates? You didn't use slates?
Yes, we did have slates at one time when I started first.
And the blackboards...
oh yes, the old blackboard, yes, the blackboard.
Was it a long day at school, or was it similar to the hours today?
Well, we used to start at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
We had a break about 11 o'clock for 10 minutes. Lunch at 12 o'clock to 1 for 1 hour, and then it was 3:30 we finished.
What did you do for lunch? Did you all go home?
Well, if you could do, if anyone was walking distance, very often we used to go home to my lunch, but sometimes used to take it. But there was no school dinners in those days.
Just the sandwiches and
yes.
What did you do for a drink?
A drink? We had a pump, a pump in the schoolyard that we used to go to.
So sandwiches and cold water.
Yeah, and cold water. We didn't have any hot drinks or anything like that.
And how was the school heated and lit?
With a coal.
Didn't have electricity in those days.
No electricity, and there was no light in, but we had stoves in the winter, and then coke, combustion stoves.
But there was no lighting.
No lighting, no.
So
we didn't work in the dark.
So there was no night school.
No night school, no.
And you attended school until what age?
Till I was 14.
That was the school leaving age.
The school leaving age in those days.
And what did most of the children do when they left school?
Well, a lot of the boys went to work on the farm, because that was the only work around here. I went to work in the grocer's shop. The girls went into domestic service.
Can I ask you why you went into a shop when most of them went on the farm?
Well, I was going to the shop while I was in school.
I see.
As an errand boy. I used to run around the village with parcels and that and grocery and help in the shop.
Would this be carrying them, or did you have a delivery bike?
No, we had to carry them.
Oh, it all carried?
Yeah, carry them.
So that was a pretty heavy job.
No, it was. And then when I left school, the owner of the shop asked me what I was going to do. And I said, well, I haven't made up my mind. He said, you come in and learn your trade and work as a grocer's assistant.
Can I ask you where that shop was?
It's still there, called the Old Shop, where Watkins is Mr. Watkins is now.
Oh, and Mr. Silverthorne was before.
That's right, when Mr. Silverthorne.
Was that the only shop in the village?
No, there was two grocery shops then.
Where was the other?
Down on the right on the corner of Castle Street, and they called it the corner shop. That was right where.
Opposite the church?
Yes, opposite the church. That was the corner shop.
And who kept that one?
Well, a man by Mr. Jones. A very old raglan family they were.
I see. Is any of that family still living in Raglan?
Yes, quite a few. Margaret Williams and Mrs. Roy Silverthorne.
Ah, I see.
And Mrs. Roger Powell.
Yes. Oh, they were all from that family?
Oh, yes. They were, the Morgans and the Joneses were two big families in Raglan. My family and the Joneses.
Those were the two grocery shops. Were there any other shops?
Yes, there was a boot shop. And
was that where the existing boot shop is?
Yes, that's right there. Two butcher shops.
And they were where?
The one was in where Mr. Phillips the antique shop is now. That was one.
At the garage, yes.
And the other was where Connie Jones lives now.
Oh, I see. That was a butcher shop.
Yes. And we also had a couple of cafes. One in Castle Street called the Coffee Tavern.
Yes.
That was next door to the grocer's.
Yes.
There's also a saddler shop in Castle Street. That's when all the horses and that sort of work, when you had them in the harness and that.
Where in Castle Street was that?
Castle Coke. Right next
that was
door.
The name of it, Castle Coke.
Castle Coke, yes. And then we had a couple of bakehouses, two slaughterhouses.
Quite a busy little place.
And yes, and we had a couple of little sweet shops as well.
And what about the most important places? What about the pubs?
Well, we had 4 pubs in those days. There was the Beaufort Arms, the Ship, the Crown, and the King's Head. And the King's Head was next to the Crown. 2 pubs together.
Well.
Because it's a butcher shop now.